This week on Not Another Shooting Show.
Ha, nerd.
Damn, you're such a dork.
I'm learning what it feels like to decline.
It's probably because they went transonic.
If you can get 74 people to sign up to our Reddit, I will shoot Iowa's section in a crop top.
He's Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is Not Another Shooting Show. We go to Raleigh, North Carolina, Jeff, where one man is in the hospital after, well, of course, he shot himself.
One person is in the hospital tonight after accidentally shooting themselves. Police say they received a call around 6:30 for a shooting at a busy shopping center on Lewisburg Road in Raleigh. Officials say the person was in their car and sat on their weapon, causing it to go off. They are expected to recover.
I hate it when that happens. When you sit on your gun and it just goes boom.
I mean, it sounds like maybe the gun was Japanese.
I don't know.
A very obscure reference.
I don't get the reference. I just, as soon as it was like he sat on his weapon and it went off.
Yeah.
Was he sitting on someone's lap? Is that what happened there? Oh. Anyway.
Right.
Anyway, that
yeah.
He sat on it or he was playing with it and shot himself. Like,
right.
Like what really happened here? You know?
Yeah, it's every time we hear these stories, they're like, it just went off, and you're like, no, it didn't, unless it's a SIG.
Yeah. We should record a PSA for people to stop cleaning their guns.
Right,
because
that's when it's dangerous.
Yes. Don't clean your own gun. Take it to a qualified gunsmith so you don't shoot yourself.
Or just don't clean your guns like me.
Or that too. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so it was a big day for me yesterday.
Yeah,
really big day. If those of you listening in your car or in your earbuds, many of you are going to recognize the sound I'm about to make into my microphone. Okay, here's the sound. What is that sound, Jeff?
That's a double action.
On?
Well, I know that it's a Shadow 2 because Shadow 2s are amazing.
It has a sort of distinct sound when that hammer falls in a Shadow 2. Slightly distinct. And yes, I am no longer a contrarian. I have finally caved in. I finally went and saw Forrest Gump. I bought a Shadow 2 yesterday. It didn't hurt that they're only $1,000 right now, so there's that. You know.
Yep. Thanks,
CZ, for making too many, making the gun cheap. Appreciate that. Because what was the MSRP on these? Wasn't it like $1,200 originally?
Yeah, it's like 12 or 1,400. You know, MSRP is always this like obscure random number.
Yeah. And I got the non-optic cut version. I'm gonna send it to Vince at Stonebridge Gunworks and have him do the optic cut because I sure like the optic cut on my TAC Sports. So might as well just send it down to him anyway because I'm not gonna have grips right away. Although I shot it a bit today. Went to the sun. Had a range day with my son. So we were just fun shooting, not training, just having fun, and shot it a bit. And I always thought the grips completely sucked ass.
Yep.
And I guess they I still think that, but at the same time, they weren't a problem while I was shooting.
Were your hands sweaty?
No, they were not sweaty. No.
There it is.
Yeah. And there was no sun. It was only like 72 degrees, 73 degrees when we were at the range.
Oh, lucky you.
Cloudy day. Yeah, it was gorgeous. It was like the best weather range day could have possibly asked for. So no, I can definitely see how these could be very, very slick. Even with copious amounts of pro grip. I mean, mostly just because as I'm rubbing my thumb on the grip, if you go up down, it's grippy. If you go front back, it's like like a channel that just shits your finger straight back.
Yep.
They're a little slickery.
But they look so pristine.
They are. It's the best looking. Honestly, like just on display, the CZs with these grips are the prettiest gun in a gun store.
Right, because they're not wood, black, or gray. Like
Or plastic.
Or plastic, or chrome, or whatever other color. Like it's one thing about the gun industry is you got your choice of rifle as long as it's in black.
Yeah, for the most part.
And it's like Shadow 2's at least accept like, hey, we are a higher end gun doing dumb things. Here's our bright blue or orange or silver grips.
So I was shooting it, and I was enjoying even just shooting it with the irons. The double action is, I don't know if I knew this about the Shadow 2. It doesn't stack up as you pull the double action. It's just pretty much the same weight all the way through.
Yep.
That's a good thing. I didn't know that. The single action, I weighed the double action. It's about 8 pounds, 2 ounces was the average. Single action was about just a hair over 3 pounds. I don't think I'm going to fuck with the trigger at all.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who don't do it anymore, but like I'm at the point where three of the 4 that I have have Cajun kits in them, and so it'd almost be weird to have one not Cajunized, but I have thought about it.
I guess I didn't. Now my tac sport does have like a slightly over 1 pound trigger. It's clearly better than the single action in the Shadow 2, but when I was actually shooting, I didn't notice.
And that's one of those things that people get so uppity about is like, oh, my 1 pound trigger, or my 2.34 pound trigger, and you're like, when you're going fast, you don't notice.
I ordered a 15 pound hammer spring for my tac sport. Like I ordered a heavy one.
Right.
I don't know.
Safety.
I think that's like a stock hammer spring in the Shadow 2 is 15. I think 13 is like the first step down if you want to lighten it up. And I may get a 13 pound, like just lighten it up a little bit. I'm not going to do any of the other shit with the firing pin and all that.
Even just shooting it a little bit will take out some of the grit and grind.
Yeah, sure.
And so it's like, I'm coming around to the idea of like, hey, just shoot the living shit out of it. But I've already got the nice ones because I think last time mine was checked, I think my double action was like 5 pounds and my single action was like 1.5 or 2. So it was like mine are nice. And,
yeah, and single action triggers like get lighter with use too. I mean, you're always polishing your sear, so
until you polish it too much, and then the ATF comes around.
Yes, and the or like it just gets scary. Like my tac sport was on the verge of scary till I put a heavier hammer spring in it. So, no, I guess I enjoyed it. My son, who's 11, he's a large 11-year-old, but he's 11. He shot it and he knows how to grip a pistol. He just sometimes forgets to aim. And like most USPSA shooters, you know.
I feel personally attacked.
So he was shooting this with the irons at an 8-inch plate from about 7 yards away. Out of the 17 rounds in the magazine, he only missed the plate 3 times, and he was shooting like slightly slower than a practical accuracy pace. It was like bang, 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 and he's 11.
Yeah.
And even the double action, he hit the plate, you know, like the other 3 rounds were just like ones where he forgot to aim. And then he loaded up another mag, and then he tried going faster, like a legit, like about as fast as I would shoot practical accuracy with a dot on on an 8-inch plate from 7 yards. And that time he missed 5 times. And I said, and he missed like 3 in a row. And I was like, did you kind of forget to aim for those 3 in a row? He's like, yeah. It was doing it by itself, and I didn't really have to do anything. And then I realized, I wasn't making sure the sights were still on the plate. And then when he fixed it, it rang the plate the next 3 times. So, yeah. Like I said, the gun matters. I did a ABC comparison with my tac sport, my 34, and the Shadow 2 without a dot.
Okay.
So the thing that I found very interesting, and this was like, and these groups weren't like shooting groups, it was like doing doubles. at relatively close range, just to get a small group, just to compare the three. I was at about somewhere between 7 and 10 yards, not 10, I think farther than 7, and just really hammered doubles as fast as I could. And the tack sport and the Shadow 2 groups were pretty much the same. They were pretty little. The 34 group was also good, but it strung up and down more than the heavy guns. You know,
Right.
It was not wider than the other two. Actually, it was a narrower group, but it strung up and down a bit more. So, and I even going between the three, just because I've gone between the heavy gun and the Glock several times now, it didn't strike me as being a thing, really. It wasn't like, wow, this is like, I have to actually work to do this. But it was just sort of, not as easy.
Yep.
That's all it was. It was not as easy.
Right. And that's what it truly is. It's why Olympic archers or Olympic pistol shooters or whatever are used high-end specialty, blah, 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 because it just makes the task a little bit easier. If you gave them a Ruger 1022, I'm sure they would still do fantastic, but they wouldn't play at the level they need to play at.
The $30,000 goofy-looking thing does a better job.
Right.
For sure. Anyway, I'm excited to shoot one with a dot. I'm excited to get some Henning grips on this thing, and yeah, go to town. The problem is, like, okay, you bought the gun, now I gotta drop another $500 on shit. Oh God. And that's if I don't buy more magazines. That's just like the mag parts and the grips and base pads, followers, optic cut, all that stuff. But that's okay. I'm excited about it. It's pretty fun. I was also kind of doing an A/B with this and the tack sport to see if they felt different, because I was trying to remember the last time I shot a Shadow 2 was a long time ago, and I thought the balance of the tack sport was a little better. They're kind of the same. It wasn't that drastically different. So the Shadow 2 is just a little more compact. That's all. So anyway, that was my big day. Oh, I also watched my son shoot at our range day. A guy at the gun club happened to have his single action revolver with him. Guess the caliber.
44 Russian.
Oh, you're close.
40?
Yes.
Yes! Ha! Nerd.
Damn, you're such a dork. 4440. And he had some soft loads, and then he had some like standard loads. And so he let my son run 5 of the softer loads through it, and he's like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And then I shot the peppier loads, and yeah, it was fun.
Are you gonna get some chaps?
No, but it was fun. But then so we shot that, and then I almost forgot before we packed up over there, before we went to the trap range to shoot he wanted to shoot the Glock 20, the 10 millimeter, and I was so curious. He's not afraid of recoil. Like, he knows how to shoot a pistol, and again, he's more interested in mag dumping than hitting stuff, because he's 11 and ammo's free. But he was shooting the 10 millimeter and actually trying to hit the plate, and I was like, so what'd you think? He's like, it's a little spicier. It's not bad. It's fine. It's like, that's my boy. That is my boy. Okay. So you shot a match, and you found out you suck.
Yeah. I'm learning what it feels like to decline. And so it was a fun match. I didn't stay out late and didn't get drunk, didn't do any of my normal shenanigans, and so I actually showed up on time and everything. And the stages were fun. That had kind of the normal ENGC group, kind of a smaller group, but most of the normal ones. And Steven was back. I finally got to see him in person, because he avoided practicing with me because it was 105 degrees and neither one of us wanted to go out there in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And so he's like, could you do it in the morning? I'm like, no. And he's like, well, shit. And I was like, yeah. So it was good to see him. And but it did make me like. So I did beat Steven, yay! But if you go into Practice Score Competitor and you remove his idiocracy on a stage, he shot basically equal to me for the day.
Oh,
like
did he forget a target?
No, it was a 3 per, and from what I heard, he forgot that part.
Oh,
so he has like 4 mics and a procedural.
Oh God, ouch. Oh yeah, I see it here. Yeah, he's got five mics and a procedural.
So, like, if you remove those and give him even just Charlie's, I think he's like 98% of me. And I think Nick wasn't too far behind. I think he said he had a couple mics on there.
He was 6% behind you. I'm looking at the scores right now. Lane was just behind you, but I see he was shooting practical optics, so he had to reload guns more.
Yeah,
more.
And he was shooting from concealment.
Oh,
and
okay.
He was shooting his P10C and all the other excuses. But yeah, it was nice to like do okay. And Connor Davis, is that what
Yeah,
he came down from Iowa to stomp my dick in. But yeah, it was a fun match. But it does make me have to process emotion because Steven is as good as me, and he just needs to get his mental fucking game lined up so that he can actually do well at majors and not shit the bed every time. And Nick is not far behind.
You mean like it? I'm going to allude to the Reddit a little early because you said so. I know this is Ben. Is said Steven's so good. I only beat him by 14%. This was the PCSL match out in Grand Island, the Area 3 replacement match, and Ben beat Steven by 14. Well, I'll be fair, 13.5%.
Right.
So
but Steven had a lot of issues with Supervalve. Apparently got a batch of like Serbian or Argentinian like awful primers because I've had problems, Lane's has problems, and Steven's had problems with them.
Boy,
so
you're really selling me on buying that reman ammo.
No, at this point I don't recommend it. Like I'm going to finish off what I have, and then I'm going to find some reputable one to be my match ammo, or I'm going to figure out how to reload better.
So we mentioned on the last Patreon episode, we were talking about shooting a tough. I was shooting at a plate at like 70 yards, and was all over it, all around it, and then I don't remember and then I shot at it with some 115s or with blazer ammo, and I was talking about how my reload ammo is like it's just like I can't shoot as good a groups with it.
Yep.
And Brucey, I was talking to him the other day, and he's like, "Hey, wait, Bullet, were the blazers, were they 115s or 124s?" And I said they were 115s. He's like, "Yeah, it's probably because they went transonic. The blue bullets did, the 125s."
Oh.
Because they start out supersonic, but they're like barely supersonic, and then when bullets go between super and subsonic, the transonic, they do weird shit.
Yep.
And it never occurred to me that was the case. Like, that was something I knew, but I only thought of it in terms of rifles. I never thought of it with pistols. And so
because we're never shooting far enough for that to be an issue.
Right. And normally you're not. Normally it's just fine. But if you're shooting 50 yards, it could be, bullets slow down quicker than you think. And so I was toying with, so maybe I should just shoot 115s. And then he's like, nah, 135s. Then they're always subsonic. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm shooting 135s now.
Yep. That's what I use. But going quick back to the match, one of the things that I'm processing, and this is kind of a larger thing, is the idea that like I have three people who are coming for me, and if like I consider all of them buddies and friends, but like there's still that like part of your brain as a man that's like, no, I'm dominant in this, to get away from me. And so like Nick and Steven are basically there, and if Owen can get his head out of his ass for like 5 seconds, he absolutely murdered a stage. Just
I saw that
beautiful.
video. But like, is that the video he put on Reddit?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bay 5.
The one where he's literally running at full speed and shooting his gun.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was expecting like, I mean that the one target I'm thinking of was very close and hosey, but it's like he's literally running like he's carrying a football and shooting his pistol. You know.
Right. And like
this is not a recipe for success long term.
Right, and to put it in perspective, like, he had the 100% on the match on stage 5, and then he had a 63, a 69, a 75%. Like if he can get his shit together, he's going to be good. He just needs to like get his shit together. So, but it does make you have to be like, okay, I'm no longer the semi top dog. Like, of course, Lane, Cody, they were the top dogs, and then it was like me, Thomas, and Joel. Well, Thomas never shoots with us. Joel never shoots with us anymore. So it was me. And then it was like the up and comers, Steven, Nick, Owen, Colin, like the people who are trying hard. And I'm like, oh, they tried hard. And now I'm not, I'm not at the pinnacle of the second class top dogs. So it's, mentally you gotta deal with it. 'Cause you see a lot of people who get kind of stuck being the big fish in the little pond, and they forget that it's like, nah, dude, like you're having your boys close to you in skill level pushes you to be better.
Yep.
And training with them at a higher level pushes you even farther. Like I 100% acknowledge that I'm blessed to have, especially Lane at my club, because he's like, we practice every Sunday. And if I don't want to go, he goes, we're practicing Sunday. Like I don't have a choice. Like, because the mockery and derision that I get when I don't show up is probably some type of abuse. But so having high level people around you will make you better. It just sucks when you're like, I was the semi high level, and now everyone else is at 3 or 4 dudes are now at that level again. Crap.
Well, it's easier to come up. I mean, I don't know if you're declining so much as they got better. I mean,
right.
It's more so they got better. I mean, if you're being a good friend, then you would say that. If you're being like a normal bro, it's like those fucking guys are just lucky I am not practicing.
Well,
you know?
yeah, they're getting much better. I'm at minimum plateauing because I'm not practicing, but they are reaching my level very quickly, and I need to get my shit together and practice and do the things. But they have as many responsibilities and bullshit. Well, Steven doesn't, but like most of them have responsibilities and shit they have to do and like pay attention to, just like I do. And it's like they go, okay, I did the things like an adult, and then I went and practiced. Whereas I'm going to go lay on the couch because I don't want to.
Yeah.
So props to them. Again, like I say this as some, just because I'm sad that I'm not the top dog anymore, but like I am happy for them because they're my friends. But there's still that kind of like when they run a good stage and you're the RO and you're like, damn, that was a good run, fucker.
Yeah. No, I remember when guys at my club, you know, like they were new to it. I'd been around it a while, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, now they're sometimes beating me, and it's like, wait a minute, I thought I was better than you. I've been doing this longer than you. How'd that happen?
Yep.
Oh, they practiced. Shit. Okay. And yeah. All right. It happens for sure. Okay. So Jeff and I came to a conclusion this week. I mean, it's a thing I still believe, but I'm hesitant to talk about it just because it sounds a little funny, but if you come from practical shooting, it's not funny at all. We're talking about trap shooters. Because we finally won a gold medal in the Olympics in shooting. A guy, I can't think of his name, something Cock. A Cock won trap shooting. I think it was doubles, or I don't know what it was. But
Vincent Hancock.
Vincent Hancock, yes. What was the thing he won?
The article I'm seeing is just wins 4th skeet shooting gold medal.
It was skeet. Okay. He won a skeet gold medal, and as soon as he hit the last 2, he pops his shotgun out. The empties fly out of it because that looks cool, and then he turns around with the breech open double barrel and points it at everybody behind him and he's like, whoa, yeah, and gives some guy a hug and,
It's a very Tiger Woods like just sunk the putt like part
just
like
won the
celebration.
Masters. Yeah.
And yes, he won a gold medal doing it, and it's a super high level and it's awesome, and like we acknowledge that yes, once the it's not loaded anymore and the breech is broken open, like it's just a big metal stick, but it still makes your butt pucker when your main hobby for the last almost a decade has involved if someone spins with their gun, you go stop.
Yeah. Like if Jeff won nationals and did a pirouette with his slide locked pistol, he would lose the match he just won because he would DQ. And I think that's kind of where it's the thought process is coming from, because our sport is like that. Trap shooters, they just point barrels everywhere all the time. They, if you've ever been where trap shooting goes on, it's it's a thing. Like if they're open, you can point it wherever you want to. It's fine. This is fine because it's open. We don't have to worry about it. And I'm also talking about the pump guns. The breech is open. It's fine. It's fine. We can point it wherever we want to now. That seems to be the mentality of trap shooters. And it's just a little scary. That's all. Just something I thought I would point out. And because Jeff, I had seen it, and then Jeff sent it to me, and I'm like, yeah. All guns are not always loaded,
right?
For shotgun shooters,
right? And people like Firepower United were like, oh, ha, herp derp derp, and I'm like, yeah, but dude, like this has been ingrained in the culture for decades now that finger off trigger, guns always loaded, never point at something you don't want to destroy, and it's like watching someone break all of those rules at a high level. It does make you go, ugh. Oh, okay, yeah, I get it, but ugh.
And I also recognize that it's kind of funny for us to say this at the same time.
Right.
A little bit, but I don't know. I still didn't like it. That's all.
Yep.
Okay. Moving on. Trap shooters are scary. Speaking of scary trap shooters and their shotguns, the scariest types of gun owners. If you're going to pick, let's just, we didn't pre-write these lists. We're just going to sort of talk it out, like what we, and maybe debate who the scariest gun owners are. Okay. Who do you think, who comes to mind immediately when you think of scary gun owner?
Old guy who's been shooting I've been shooting on my farm for 50 years, and this is what I've done.
Well, there's no farmhouse over that way.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I taught a class on a farm back in April, a coworker's farm actually, and he's like, yeah, we'll pile up some. God, what did they pile? Oh, he piled up some bales, which is fine, but they were just square bales, and they were like exactly the shape of the targets. It wasn't even like a bullet trap where you've got like 30% more around the entire target. Yeah. It was just literally right into the targets. I'm like, oh, it's better than nothing. Okay, we'll roll with that. But okay, I'm going to throw out another one that's very specific to my state, but also applies to many others. One particular type of hunter, and that is a pheasant hunter. In my state, a big part of tourism in South Dakota is the pheasant opener and pheasant season in general. There are pheasant hunting lodges all over the central and east and north central parts of the state. People fly in. The airport is insane before the opening weekend. It's just full of pheasant hunters and shotguns. And most of these people only carry or handle firearms when they're pheasant hunting. And every year, there's people who end up in the hospital with BBs embedded in them from a fellow hunter because they're scary. To me, that's probably the single most scary gun owner, but who else is sort of scary?
Well, sticking to the hunting theme is the deer pushers.
Oh, yeah.
The
deer drives?
Yeah, a former president of my club was telling me stories about he was driving around northern Iowa with his friends, and they're like, "Oh, get out and push him over that hill." And he's like, "Okay, that seems fine." They didn't tell him that there was 30 dudes on the other side of the hill, so he pushed these like 10 deer over, and he comes over the top of the hill, not realizing that they had like already set up, and they just unload onto these 10 deer to the point where most of them didn't even want to take them home. They were too shot up, but my buddy was like, "Oh crap," and like dived back down the hill so that he had a berm between him and the 30 dudes just unloading on these deer.
You can do a deer drive that isn't homicidal. It's sort of like an L-shaped ambush, except the pushers need to
know when to stop.
The cross shooters need to, so like the pushers don't really shoot, and anybody who is like in the ambush point, they only shoot within a certain window. You don't go past the tree 30 degrees to the left, because all the guys are coming from that way, and you got to wait. The problem is you get the impatient asshole who just starts going blam, 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 blam.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah. Let's see. Who else is a scary gun owner?
Instagram influencers.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I've had different. I've experienced all. I think I've experienced all the different levels of Instagram influencer at this point. I've had the wannabes when I worked at a shooting range. This woman shot a Glock 17 luckily to slide lock, and then immediately turns around in the bay to pose with the gun with the slide lock back. And I'm like, holy shit, no, dude, you can't do that.
Yeah.
That one was terrifying. I was in a mid-level influencer's video when she was not unsafe, but like I was always worried that the recording would take precedent over the activity.
Yeah.
And then I did meet Lucas Bodkins. He's very small. He was fine. But he was also training with Ben and Joel. So I mean, it was fine. But like watching them walk around with loaded pistols when we run a cold range and having them be all like doing all the tactical like look around shit and like trying to look cool for the camera, and you're like, can we focus on the gun part of this and not the looking cool part of it? That would be appreciated.
You mentioned that before, how like as soon as you get done with a run, you unload your gun every single time.
Yes. Yeah, regardless if I'm by myself on the range, if I am if I've brought a new shooter with me, wherever I am, I do USPSA rules.
I will admit, when I'm practicing, especially by myself, I do not. If I'm with others, I do. If I'm by myself, I don't completely clear the gun. I already have it's in a holster, like we carry guns pointed at our dicks in holsters, right? And this is fine, right?
My theory is a change in your natural or in your consistent habits is when accidents happened. And I had it happen where I was training with my buddy Kenny, and I had unloaded the magazine, but I hadn't cleared the chamber for some reason. And then we were talking about like how best to shoot this drill or whatever. And I drew my gun to like dry fire it. And then I quote unquote dry fired and shot around with my ear pro off. And I was like, oh. And so for me, it's just this gun is unloaded. Like any gun that is not in active use is unloaded. And I carry that rule. Like even my guns in my house, I know they're all unloaded because I never load them. The only loaded guns in my house are in holsters. That's kind of my rule is
sure.
And so people will be like, oh, do you check your gun every time you pick it up? No, because my rule is it's never loaded unless it's in a holster.
I
and
do.
I never break that rule.
Even when I know they're not, like, most of my guns aren't loaded in my house. The only ones that have loaded magazines in them, they're not. I mean, the chambers are empty, but there's a loaded mag in the gun. Like my bedside safe, that gun has a magazine in it. There's an empty chamber, but that is how that one is. And then I have one gun in my safe downstairs that is in the same condition. Loaded mag in it, not one in the chamber. And so, but I still check it. You know, I remove the magazine and I check the chamber always. And I always make sure of that. So, and my son, like, he'll get the guns out of the safe to load to go to the range. It's just, I like him to do that because it's practice for him doing that.
Yeah.
And if there's a magazine in it, he removes it and then he checks the chamber. And he's like, "Oh, this one had a magazine in it, Dad." I was like, "Yep, nope, that's the one I do keep a mag in. Good job, you did it right."
Right, and it's good to instill that, especially when you have multiple people involved. My rule works because it only involves me.
Well, and like as far as your guns around the house, yeah, like I think you can institute whatever policy you want in your home, you know.
Right, but like I went to my dad's ranch one time and I took my gun off, put it on the like living room table, and he drew it and was like pointing it, and I was like, whoa, that's loaded. And he's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, yeah, like what happened to the first rule? Anyways, but going back to scariest types of gun owners.
Yes.
It's for one of the scariest types of gun owner, and this in my opinion includes about 90% of gun owners, is I bought a gun, I keep it in my sock drawer under my bed, like I fire 50 rounds a decade out of it, like, but it's my talisman against evil. Like, those people terrify me.
Yeah, if it's in that condition, as long as there's no ammo anywhere near it, that doesn't bother me at all. But when they leave it there and it's loaded, that's a problem. And they have small children in the house. That's even worse.
Yeah, I always love when you hear those stories like every day. It was like, small child reaches into purse, pulls out revolver, shoots mom, kills her, blah, blah, and you're like, that kid's gonna live with that their whole life.
So the first one you said, what was the very first type you said?
The old guy who thinks that because he has been shooting for 50 years that he knows everything. I almost duplicated that, but I'm going to duplicate it anyway, just in a more specific way, because it is literally almost the exact same thing, but it's literally men over 50. Yes.
Men over 50, period. Now, of course, it's not all men over 50. There are men over 50 who are obviously safe with firearms, but it's just something I see that frequently happens. Men over 50 tend to be the ones that are most likely to point a gun at me in a class. I'll even say in my permit classes, especially, what's the scariest demographic? What demographic is most likely to point a gun at me in a class? And it's men over 50 who have been around guns all my life.
Yep.
And the guesses are always, when it comes to the gender, they usually get that right. They usually say men. Occasionally, there's some old fart who's like, women, because women don't know nothing about that. No, sir, you're wrong. Most women know they don't know what they're doing, so they're super duper extra careful.
Yep.
That's been my experience. Guys are not. Men over 50 who've been around guns all my life. And they'll a lot of times say, teens, 20s is the age they'll guess.
Yep.
And when I say, nope, they're usually over 50. And there's usually at least one or two of those guys who are in that demographic who are like, you can see them just kind of get pissed for a second, like this quick, sudden moment of anger washes over them, and then it quickly disappears because they're probably remembering that time when they torched one off at their foot, and they know I'm right.
Yeah.
You know, and I tell them, like, I'm going to hurt some feelings here, and I don't care because it helps keep me safe. and
Right.
everyone else.
Right, because shooting, fighting, and sex are the three things that all men think they're good at. And the
I
older you
always
get,
think
the
if
more
it
you
ha-
think they're good at it.
The thing I always say is if it has anything to do with if it's got tits, tires, or a trigger, men think they know what they're doing.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And every dude is like, if I see red, I'm going to win the fight. And you're like, the fuck you will.
No.
But what one kind of on your like the 20-year-old list, I'm preparing for the zombie apocalypse type people. They give me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
Because they tend to be trying to outperform their skill level and doing a lot of kind of cringy things that make me uncomfortable.
Well,
and
it depends on how you're using the word cringy, because cringy is not necessarily unsafe.
well, I'm specifically remembering like 4 dudes on Bay 5 while I was in Bay 2, like handling the rifles when they shouldn't have been, having loaded guns slung on their backs. While they were like running each other on like really weird drills that like, again, I'm very biased. If you aren't doing USPSA, I don't value your training. And so to me, I'm just like, oh, I feel very unsafe because if you're not a USPSA member, I'm scared of you. I'm watching you because another one is it's not loaded.
Yeah. Or the safety's on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those types of people, I've run into them at the range. Like, I had an AK pointed at my back, and the dude got yelled at by Lane, and I didn't, because I was looking away from the bays, and we were on Bay 1, and Lane was looking down the bays, and he just yells, "Don't you point that AK at me!" And I'm like, "Ruh-roh, I'm between him and that guy."
Yeah.
And I turn around, and the dude's got an AK with a fully loaded mag, like a mag inserted, I guess I should say, like holding it by his side, carrying it, and he's like, "It's not loaded." And I'm like, "Then why is the magazine inserted?" And like, why? What are you doing? And again, going back to that, like, guns are always loaded. Mm-hmm. Don't point them at things you don't want to destroy. I don't want to be destroyed. I take it very personally.
Yeah, I don't want to be destroyed either. Okay. So, let's see. Let's get to the Reddit. There were some individual posts that, Owen posted no more occluded dot for me, and then it was his psycho run on at your match today, where he literally sprinted and shot, and like the last target, he's like literally sprinting, like shoulders going side to side, like he's running a football downfield and going whap 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 whap.
Yeah, me and him talked about it, and it's a training aid that I personally believe has taken.
His cover flew off his dot.
Yep,
that's what that was. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so he was like, I think he kind of has the problem I do, where he's over processing, trying to like work on is the dot where it's supposed to be, yada yada yada, and so I think he's learning. Yeah, occluded dot does not mean I win for everybody.
No, it doesn't. 100%. Let's see. Back to, let's just go to the thread. We'll hit a couple of these. Somebody said, tips for new match directors. I host my first match in 2 weeks.
Ooh, I have a lot of these.
Okay.
Delegate. This was a topic I was going to bring up about a match I shot in Wyoming. You need to delegate tasks. You cannot do everything. You cannot be everywhere. So as a new match director, you're going to have to do a lot. That's just how it goes. But as you learn who can do things without supervision, lean on them. Yeah. Allow them to do things, and also don't put everything on your shoulders. The guy in Wyoming, he seemed to be a very nice dude. His theory was, I'm going to put all the newbies in my squad. So he put me and Brucey and like 5 other very experienced ROs in one squad. And it was him and like 2 other experienced people with 5 or 6 newbies in the other squad. And we were like, we could have taken one or two of those off your hands, dude. Like,
yeah, no.
You do not fall on the sword. Get help where you can.
And even at times, like, pawn off all the new shooters on somebody else. Like, you get to enjoy the match once in a while, even when you're the match director.
Yes.
Like, this is allowed. This is okay. 100%. My biggest thing is do your best to not micromanage. Sort of the opposite of what Jeff said. Or not the opposite, just a different way of saying what Jeff said. Don't micromanage. Don't worry about your stages being perfect, especially if you're the one who designed them, all of them. That used to just drive me absolutely crazy. Now it only drives me crazy for major matches that I run. If it's a club match, and it's as long as it's legal and not dumb, like, I don't care. Like at the last club match, there were 2 stages that were designed, and they put them all down before I could get there from work. And they looked fine on the ground. And then when we got to the second one, I realized, ooh, this target is not like this one target needs fixing. Otherwise, the stage is like way too easy and kind of dumb. And so all I did was like move the target back and turn the wall out a little bit. And it was just a little 2-foot wall. It was super easy fix. And that was it. Outside of that, like, I left it all alone. Everybody did a good job. Like, I just was like, yeah, this is fine. Okay, let's shoot.
Yep.
Don't run around and drive yourself crazy. There's many, many more things. We could do this like in another episode. As a larger topic.
Yeah, they can be a massive episode. One other quick tip is accept that you're not going to have a good match.
Especially when you start.
Right, because everyone's going to come to you for a question. And I mean, Mike Love's been active for 25 years or more. And even today, the match director had like 7 people walk up to him like as he was trying to make ready and was like, hey, like, is my 170 millimeter magazine legal for carry optics? And he's like, no, it's never been legal. And then my favorite part was the dude's like, well, I used it last match. He goes, so you cheated last match. That doesn't mean you're going to cheat this match. But just accept that, like, and I'm very bad about this. I'll fully admit, but like, you're going to be like putting your gun on and you're going to be like, match director, can you come deal with this problem? And you're going to walk over and you're going to go, why did I need to be over here? Like, you're adults. You could have figured this out.
Yeah. I mean, half the time at club matches up here, we kind of go through you're supposed to notify the match or the range master when there's a DQ. It's sort of like a formality that really almost doesn't even need to be made because it seems like every time there is one of these, it's Robert who runs one club and me who runs the other. It's always one of us who are doing most of the DQing. So it's like, right. Hey, there was a DQ. Oh, yeah, what do you do? Okay, yeah. And then we go over there and go, yeah, okay, we did the thing we're supposed to do. Okay.
Yeah, so trust the higher level or more experienced people that you know what they're doing, because like my club's the same way. We have a bunch of CROs and they'll come over and be like, so I had to DQ someone. I'm like, okay. I'm like, what? I trust you. I wasn't there. Like, you, and they'll be like, yeah, you did this. Cool. I believe you. You just could have waited until I know it's part of the match, but like, I just could have waited to the end of the match because it's not like I'm going to do anything about it. Like, I'm not going to come over and be like, I don't believe you. Herp, derp, derp, derp. Nope. Like, you guys have been shooting this sport as long as I have or longer. So, okay.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm jumping around. Does Jeff take the stock mag release paddle off of his Shadow 2s?
No.
You leave the big paddle on that you say is bad to have on there?
Is that one an extended one?
Well, I mean, it's further out than a standard SPO1 mag release. Yeah, it's got that big fat paddle. I mean, that's basically all I put on my Glocks that you say is so bad to do.
I guess for me, because the lock grips I use are so thick, it
doesn't feel extended. Sure.
Yeah, so I think that's might be what it is. Because now that you say it with you have a Shadow 2 in your hand.
Yeah.
With those grips on it, yes, it does look very extended. When you have thick bogey lock grips on it, like, it's almost flush.
Yeah. No. So, as you're saying that, I'm like, yeah, okay, I see what you're getting at there.
Yeah, so no, I leave the standard one on there because I am too mechanically incompetent to like change it. And so
some people will change the orientation of that paddle though, because you can turn it if it works for you better. Oh yeah, well, yeah. It's just loosen the screw, turn it a little bit, and then screw it back down. I believe.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it has to be in that position.
Things we learn. Again, I'm very much I will adapt to the thing. I don't adapt the thing to me normally. And so I like literally I've had these guns for 5 years, some of them. I just messaged Steven yesterday and was like, "Hey, do you have a video about like taking these down past just taking the slide off?" And he's like, "Yes, you idiot. Here's the video that I used."
Yes, moron.
Yes. And I'm like, thank you.
CZs aren't that hard. It's just a lot of parts.
Yeah.
And same with Berettas. They're annoying.
Yeah,
there's so many parts. Glocks are so much easier to deal with when you take them apart.
My practice gun, the trigger is squeaking and it's getting kind of stuck. So I think it's time that I take it apart. It's only seen like 40,000 rounds. So,
that's all. Okay. Oh, let's see. From Manny Talk Shooting, how many people do we need on the subreddit to get Jeff to shoot in a crop top for the rest of the season with his short shorts?
About 350.
Oh, well, Owen said 200. If we got to 200, would you do it?
Yeah, because there's only like 2 matches left in the season. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, if you can get 74 people to sign up to the Reddit. Like, dude. Manny, you have a following. Like, if you can get 74 people to sign up to our Reddit, I will shoot Iowa section in a crop top. looking like the brother from 51st Dates.
Oh God, please do. Oh, how about money? It might be easier to raise the money to get you to do this. How much money would it take?
$350.
Oh God. Well, wait, we've got that in the Patreon. I think I can just empty the Patreon so Jeff shoots Iowa in a crop top. Oh God, that's funny. All right. Well, let's call that a show, Jeff. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for downloading. If you're not a Patreon, I just mentioned that, patreon.com/notanothershootingshow. We should do that at the beginning of the show where people, definitely are more likely to hear it, because now they're already checking out. They might have already, shut it off because they know the show's almost over. But wait, maybe it's not. Maybe there's another thing coming. Patreon.com/notanothershootingshow. Just $3.57 a month. You get an extra show every single week. I lied. There isn't more. He's Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is Not Another Shooting Show.